Welcome back. You're watching Newsx. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. The top stories this hour.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के दौरान हमारी सेनाओं ने जो पराक्रम दिखाया है उसने हर हिंदुस्तानी का सिर ऊंचा कर दिया.
In his first Mann Ki Baat episode since Operation Sindoor, Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauds the armed forces for their valor and bravery in securing borders and eliminating terror hideouts. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs the high-level meeting in NDA alliance with chief ministers. It's a day-long brainstorming session on good governance and best practices. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be making a day-long visit to Gujarat on the 26th of May, where he will inaugurate India's first 9,000 HP locomotive engine. This will be his first visit to his home state following Operation Sindoor. India climbs a spot in the global economic rankings, overtaking Japan to become the world's fourth largest economy. The country's GDP touches the $4 trillion mark, placing India only behind the US, China and Germany, as per Niti Aayog CEO BVR Subramanian. Delhi Airport has issued an advisory following heavy rains and widespread flooding in the national capital, stating that some flights have been impacted due to the weather conditions. Passengers are advised to check their flight status and stay in touch with airline staff. An alarming COVID surge has been reported in India's major cities. 27 new cases have been ascertained, increasing the total number of active cases to 363. Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Kumar Jha-led Indian delegation arrives in Seoul, South Korea as part of the government's outreach with the international community on the fight against terror and the significance of Operation Sindoor. During Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting, the NDA Alliance Chief Ministers, he's of course meeting the NDA Alliance Chief Ministers in Delhi. Maharashtra Deputy CM Eknath Shinde has said the Operation Sindoor has given India a new sense of confidence and self-respect. He further lauded the valor of the armed forces and congratulated Prime Minister Modi on the success of Operation Sindoor. Anand Singh is joining us for more on this story. Anand, Maharashtra Deputy CM lauding Operation Sindoor during this key meeting today.
Yeah, well, look, the way in which Prime Minister today, first of all, held meeting with the NDA Chief Ministers and Deputy Chief Ministers here at Ashoka Hotel. So, on a proposal on Operation Sindoor was presented in that meeting, and while the proposal was kept before all the Chief Ministers and Deputy Chief Ministers of all these states, Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister and Shiv Sena Shinde faction chief Eknath Shinde clearly mentioned that how Operation Sindoor has proved that whoever clashes with India will be reduced to dust, and it is not just a saying but it's the truth. And he said that Operation Sindoor has given new confidence and self-respect to ordinary Indians, and he salutes the policy of the central government, the valor of the armed forces and the courage of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Then he said that Modi ji had just said 3 days ago, it is not blood but the hot Sindoor that is flowing in his veins. And he then said that Modi ji, the 140 crore people of the country are proud of you, and it is the good fortune of the countrymen that we got a brave, valiant and selfless patriotic Prime Minister like him. And he then also expressed gratitude to Prime Minister for his unparalleled and valiant leadership at this critical time, especially in overcoming such grave security challenges, for his constant support to our defenses forces. So this is what Eknath Shinde mentioned, and he then further added that history will remember Operation Sindoor as a befitting reply to those who made the mistake of disputing India's peaceful development journey. And it also highlights the NDA government's unwavering commitment to put India's sovereignty and security of Indians above everything else. And he then also further mentioned that India will always give a befitting reply to any terrorist attack, and it will be done on India's terms. India will never accept nuclear blackmail. So this nuclear blackmail thing has also been mentioned by Prime Minister when he addressed the nation after Operation Sindur and when ceasefire was announced. So clearly, these were the points that Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, who is also one of the key alliance partners of the NDA in Maharashtra as part of Mahayuti, he made this comment during the meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Back to you.
More breaking news meanwhile coming in. The United States has released the 2025 Worldwide Threat Assessment Report, which also addresses the Pahalgam terror attack. The report states, and I quote, following a late April terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir, New Delhi conducted missile strikes on terrorism-related infrastructure facilities in Pakistan. The missile strike provoked multiple rounds of missile drones and loitering munition attacks and heavy artillery fire by both militaries from the 7th to the 10th of May. Both militaries agreed to a ceasefire then. Aditya Vadavan is joining us for more on this story. Aditya, give us more details about this US report.
Well, absolutely. As far as this U.S. annual threat assessment report is concerned, it has flagged concerns relating to India and Pakistan, and it has shown that how India, it has mentioned the fact that how India destroyed the terror infrastructure belonging to terrorist groups like Jamaat, Lashkar, and Jaish in Pakistan. And also how Pakistan retaliated through drones and heavy artillery guns along the line of control. So it is at this juncture, when this conflict was going on between 7th May and 10th May, the United Nations has also warned that any conflict between India and Pakistan can be catastrophic for the world as well as for both these countries, because both the countries are nuclear armed countries. And at this juncture, if you see recent comments by the US President Donald Trump, he has been saying that he brokered a ceasefire deal between India and Pakistan, whereas the Ministry of External Affairs has completely rejected the fact and that said that the ceasefire agreement between both India and Pakistan was bilateral. So at this juncture, the US, all the defense establishments of the United States of America that is headquartered in the Pentagon is, carefully overseeing the situation along the Indo-Pakistan border, along the line of control. And it needs to be seen from here on how the United States in the times to come, assesses the border situation on the India-Pakistan border. Yes, so they're back to you.
More breaking news meanwhile coming in on the broadcast. 24 crew members of a Liberian container vessel which sank off the Kerala coast due to flooding have now been rescued. All 24 crew members on board were rescued, 21 by ICG and 3 by the Indian Navy's INS Sujata. The vessel went down with 640 containers, including 13 with hazardous cargo and 12 containing calcium carbide. Meanwhile, INS Sujata's captain Arjun Shekhar and Indian Navy's PRO Atul Pillai have reacted to this rescue.
24th May at 12:15 hours, we received the distress call from motor vessel MSC Elsa 3. It was Saturday and the crew were off. Indian Navy deployed 2 ships, INS Satpura and INS Sujata. INS Sujata arrived at 1900 hours on the scene and Satpura arrived at 2000 hours. The situation that we faced at that point of time, the challenges that we faced were that we had adverse conditions. We had wind speeds gusting up to 40 knots. We had debris in the water. We had containers in the water, which made approaching the ship, and particularly at night time, very difficult. In the evening, 21 crew were rescued by ICGS Arnvesh. This morning, the remaining 3 crew, that is the captain, the first engineer, and the second engineer, were rescued. All 3 were administered first aid. They're all safe now. At this point, I'd like to only state that we were prepared for every contingency, and we are in the business of saving lives, and we have delivered and achieved that today. Thank you. Can you explain the weather? The weather, wind speeds were about 40 knots. Sea state was about 3 to 4 knots. Swell height is about 2 to 3 meters. There was debris in the water. Visibility was very poor because of the monsoons. In spite of that, in these adverse conditions, we were able to achieve this rescue, successfully rescued 24 people. And yeah, there are debris in the water, there are containers which are floating. The concerned agencies are raising warnings for other merchant vessels to keep clear out of the area.
Present status. Today morning, the Indian Navy ship Sujata rescued 3 of the crew, which is the captain, the master, the chief engineer and the assistant engineer. They were on board the ship since yesterday. So today it was felt that if they stay put more, it was a danger for them. So they had to abandon the ship, and the crew was rescued by the crew of INS Sujata. Other than that, the rest of the crew were rescued by the Coast Guard ship and a merchant ship. So the 21 crew have been brought to Cochin by the Coast Guard ship. As of now, 2 of the Coast Guard ships are involved in the pollution response activities. The ship has been changed into pollution response configuration. One of the ships, Saksham, is already in the area, and the other ship, Samarth, will be proceeding to the area to augment the pollution response activities. And the Indian Coast Guard Dornier is also on task for the pollution response activities.
Brian Thomas joins us for more on this story. Brian, give us more details about this successful operation that has been concluded now after this Liberian container ship sank. Brian, can you hear me? Okay, I think we're having some technical trouble there with Brian's connection. All right, and more developments now coming in on the broadcast. Group 3 of India's all-party parliamentary delegation, led by JDU MP Sanjay Kumar Jha, has held a meeting with Ambassador of India to the Republic of Korea, Amit Kumar, at the Embassy of Seoul. Further, he's addressed the Indian community in South Korea and delved into the decade-long Pakistan-sponsored terrorism as well.
आपको पूरा इंडिया का हर एक रीजन का हर एक जोन का मल्टी पार्टी रिप्रेजेंटेटिव यहां पर है. There are member of parliaments from ruling party. There are member of parliaments from opposition party. But we all have come together. Only one resolve, जो अभी हमारे देश में आप सब ने देखा होगा खबर में कि कश्मीर के पहलगांव में जो 26 लोगों की हत्या कर दी गई, वो छुट्टी पे परिवार के साथ गए हुए थे. सेग्रीगेट करके रिलीजन के नाम पर क्लोज रेंज से उनके फैमिली के सामने, उनके बच्चे थे, उनकी वाइफ थी, उनके सामने उनको गोली मार दी. और इस तरह का टेररिस्ट एक्टिविटी पाकिस्तान के द्वारा प्रमोट किया जा रहा है. और प्रधानमंत्री ने भी और देश ने भी ये माना कि वी हैड एनफ, क्योंकि हर एक 2 साल में 3 साल में कहीं न कहीं कोई बड़ी घटना. आज ही आपने अगर इफ यू हैव सीन द न्यूज़पेपर, इंडिया हैज सरपास जापान एज इंडिया इज द 4th largest economy in the world.
Brian Thomas joins us for more details on this story. Brian, take us to the highlights of Sanjay Jha's address in that gathering in Seoul. Brian, can you hear me? All right, I think we're having some technical trouble there. Further breaking developments now coming in on the broadcast. The all-party delegation led by BJP MP Baijayant Panda has met Bahrain Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa at the Gudaibiya Palace. These are breaking visuals coming in on the broadcast of our Indian delegation there. They are, of course, meeting with the Bahrain Deputy Prime Minister at that palace in Bahrain. Brian Thomas is joining us for more on this story. Brian, take us to the latest details from Bahrain. Brian, can you hear me? All right, I think we're having some major technical trouble with Brian's connection. But these, of course, are the big details we are tracking for you. Visuals on your screen now from the Gudaibiya Palace in Bahrain. Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, the Deputy Prime Minister of Bahrain, is meeting with the Indian delegation. The Indian delegation led by Bejayant Panda is in Bahrain, taking the message of India's policy against terror to the world. So the Indian delegation, of course, continues their visits abroad. These latest developments from Bahrain. All right, in other news now, heavy rains coupled with gusty winds and thunderstorms battered Delhi NCR, bringing respite from the sweltering heat, but impacted flight operations and led to waterlogging in several areas, including Moti Bagh, Minto Bridge and near the Delhi Airport Terminal 1. The southwest monsoon has meanwhile arrived in Kerala 8 days ahead of its scheduled date of 1st of June, marking the earliest onset in the last 16 years. The IMD has said this is the earliest date of monsoon onset over Kerala after 2009. The Weather Department has issued a red alert for heavy to very heavy rainfall over Kerala, Mahe, coastal Karnataka, Konkan and Goa. It's also forecast heavy rainfall over parts of central, east and northwest India. As of today, the red alert also includes a forecast of light to moderate rainfall and lightning activity across a vast region encompassing parts of Haryana, western Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan as well as Delhi NCR. Well, my colleagues have filed ground reports on the monsoon situation.
After the incessant rainfall in the national capital, the Delhi NCR saw heavy waterlogging in parts of Delhi. There was a massive waterlogging that Delhi experienced. There was a rainfall that happened yesterday, followed by thunderstorms, and that left heavy waterlogging in parts like Delhi, Kant, or this very place. Now here also, if we show you the visuals also, you get an understanding of the fact that the waterlogging situation remains very critical and very real itself. You can see also a bus being stuck, and as a result of that itself, all these problems are being faced because the traffic movement have been clearly affected because of the incessant rainfall itself. We've also joined by a person itself. Sir, आप पहले अपना नाम बताइए.
My good name is Saurav Kadyan, and I am also suffering from this rainfall issues because BJP government has said us about this, that they will be giving us the conclusion for all the vacations and all the conclusions for the rainwater and everything. But they have not given anything. My car is suffering from the waterfall, rainfall, everything.
So you are a four-wheeler. What kind of problem? Because you get to see cars being stuck because of the water-like situation here.
Exactly. That's what I want to say. My car also got stuck, and even more people from Delhi are facing the same problem.
So clearly, there are many people like him also. I'm sure that they would be facing a lot of problem in terms, and not just four-wheelers, two-wheelers also would be facing a lot of problem. There have been many flights also that have been delayed itself. The data that we have, it says that if we talk about the arrivals, there have been 30 such flights that have been delayed where the average time goes around 9 minutes. And also the flight disruption index also reaches up to 0.8. Now, if we talk about the departure status where the delayed flight rises up to 57, and this is the real-time data, where the average delay rises up to 28 minutes and 45 minutes as well, ranging from 45 to 28 minutes. There have been one cancelled flights as well, and the disruption also increases up to 3.8%. So clearly, the Delhi International Airport has also issued an advisory also of the fact that there will be a lot of cancellations and delays also because of the fact that because of the delays itself. And here as well, the problems you can see being real itself. The two-wheelers, the four-wheelers would be facing major problems because of the waterlogged situation that is causing a lot of problems to the Delhiites as well. This is me, Brian Anthony Thomas, signing out, camera person Avdesh for Newsx, Delhi.
Former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has intensified her criticism of interim government head Mohammad Yunus, accusing him of selling the country to the United States. A renewed attack following reports that Yunus threatened to resign after the military called for general elections to be held in December, prompting fresh waves of protests across the country. Hasina has further alleged that Yunus is governing with the support of militant groups and condemned the recent ban on her party, Awami League, calling it unconstitutional. Rani Datta joins us with the very latest on this story. Renik, take us through the details of Sheikh Hasina's latest statement.
एकदम देखिए, मोहम्मद यूनुस को लेकर शेख हसीना जो कि बांग्लादेश का पूर्व प्राइम मिनिस्टर है, उनकी तरफ से स्टेटमेंट दिया गया है। शेख हसीना की तरफ से मोहम्मद यूनुस का ये जो इंटरिम गवर्नमेंट, इसको इलीगल गवर्नमेंट कहते हुए कहा गया है कि बांग्लादेश को यूएस के हाथ में भेज देने की कोशिश मोहम्मद यूनुस की तरफ से किया जा रहा है। और उसके साथ साथ ही मोहम्मद यूनुस के ऊपर उनकी तरफ से दावा किया गया है कि मोहम्मद यूनुस खुद जिम्मेदार है बांग्लादेश में जिस तरीके का घटना घट रहा है, जिस तरीके से माइनॉरिटीज के ऊपर हमले का घटना घट रहा है, या बांग्लादेश का जो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन वो जिस तरीके से टूट पड़े है, उसके पीछे मोहम्मद यूनुस जिम्मेदार है, ऐसा भी शेख हसीना की तरफ से कहा गया है। और उसके साथ साथ ही आवामी लीग के ऊपर जो बैन लगाया गया है, उसको लेकर भी सवाल है शेख हसीना, और शेख हसीना की तरफ से दावा किया गया है कि इलीगल तरीके से आवामी लीग के ऊपर बैन लगाया गया है। और उसके साथ साथ ही ये भी दावा किया गया है कि आवामी लीग फिर से फॉर्म करेगा और आवामी लीग को रोकने का जो कोशिश मोहम्मद यूनुस की तरफ से किया जा रहा है वो नाकाम होगा, ऐसा शेख हसीना की तरफ से दावा किया गया है।
All right, Renik, thank you for joining us with those details. Meanwhile, Ajay Jandial, my colleague, has spoken with the Jammu and Kashmir Jal Shakti Minister Javed Rana. Let's quickly play that interview out.
पहलगाम हमले के बाद भारत द्वारा पाकिस्तान में आतंकी ठिकानों को ध्वस्त किए जाने के बाद कुछ दिनों तक जो युद्ध विराम उल्लंघन हुआ और उसके बाद दोनों के बीच हालात खराब हुए, उसके बाद से लगातार इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी चर्चा का विषय बनी हुई है। पाकिस्तान बार बार धमकियां दे रहा है कि अगर उसे पानी नहीं दिया गया तो खून की नदियां बह जाएंगी। मगर जम्मू कश्मीर में कई दशकों पहले हुए इस फैसले को, इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी जिसमें जो जम्मू कश्मीर की नदियों का पानी पाकिस्तान जाता है, उसको लेकर हुए इस फैसले से जम्मू कश्मीर के आम लोगों को कितनी दिक्कतें होती हैं, इस पर बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ जावेद राणा साहब हैं जो कि जल शक्ति मंत्री हैं। जावेद साहब, लोग इस वक्त बातें बहुत कर रहे हैं, पाकिस्तान खून बहाने की बात कर रहा है कि नदियां अगर रोकी गई तो, मगर आप वाकई में बताइए, आपकी सरकार ने भी कई बार इस चीज़ को लेकर जिक्र किया है, इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी को लेकर जम्मू कश्मीर के आम लोगों का और यहाँ की जो ज़मीनें जो बंजर पड़ी हुई हैं उसमें कितना नुकसान हो रहा है, जिसको पहले भारत की सरकार ने जब अमल में लाया था तब शायद ना सोचा गया।
देखिए, जो इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी है, ये दोनों ममालिक के दरमियान एक बड़ा एग्रीमेंट था जिसके तहत पंजाब के दरियाओं का पानी जो है वो पंजाब को मिलेगा और जम्मू कश्मीर के जो और वहाँ से हमें भी, पंजाब से हमें भी शेयर मिलना था और इसके लिए कंपनसेट किया जाना था। इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी जो हमारा पानी है जो पाकिस्तान को दिया जाएगा इस ट्रीटी के तहत, वो तो हुआ नहीं। और सबसे ज़्यादा सफ़र जो है इसमें मैं कहूँगा कि जम्मू कश्मीर की आवाम है। आज देख लीजिए, आपकी हमारे जितने भी जो हमारे हाइडल इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, हमारे जो हमारे वाटर सप्लाईज़ हैं, कंडी एरिया है और दूसरे प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, उसमें हमें काफ़ी दिक्कत आ रही है। हमारा पानी है, हम इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते, तो किसी भी जगह में कोई प्रोजेक्ट नहीं बन सकता है। तो लिहाजा मैं ये कहूँगा कि दोनों ममालिक जो हैं वो बातचीत की तरफ आ रहे हैं। अल्लाह करे वो किसी हतमी बातचीत पे आएँ और जम्मू कश्मीर को जो इस ट्रीटी के तहत जो नुकसान हुआ है उसकी भरपाई की जा सके।
आप क्योंकि खुद आपका डिपार्टमेंट जो है वो पानी के मुतल्लिक है, तो क्या क्या परेशानी और कितने एकड़ ज़मीन होगी जो अभी तक मतलब इन दरियाओं से जो है सिंचाई हो सकती थी, आबाद हो सकती थी, नहीं हो पाई?
देखिए, इसमें मैं ये कहूँगा कि जब हमारे पास पानी नहीं है, दरिया ही नहीं है, आपका ये इतना बड़ा हमारा दरिया ये चनाब जा रहा है, जेलम जा रहा है, तो आप इसको इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते हैं। तो मोर देन 70% एरिया जो है हमारा ड्राई है और अगर हमारे पास ये पानी होता या इसके एवज में हमें इसकी भरपाई की जाती, हमारी कंपनसेट किया जाता हमें, तो इससे काफ़ी फ़ायदा पहुंच सकता था जम्मू कश्मीर को।
आप इसके मतलब अब केंद्र सरकार से लिखने वाले हैं क्योंकि अब इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी जो है वो ख़त्म रद्द कर दी गई है, तो आपको क्या लगता है आपके डिपार्टमेंट क्या करने वाला है ताकि जो चीज़ें पहले नहीं हो सके?
हमारी लीडरशिप ने, ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब ने भी, डॉक्टर फारूक अब्दुल्ला साहब ने भी और मैं एज ए मिनिस्टर इंचार्ज जल शक्ति विभाग, मैं ये कहूँगा कि इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी को लेके जो जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को आज तक नुकसान हुआ है उसकी पूरी तरीके से भरपाई की जाए, जम्मू कश्मीर को कंपनसेट किया जाए जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को, और आने वाले टाइम में कोई मुस्बत और ऐसा फैसला दोनों मुबालक के दरमियान हो जिससे जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को बेनिफिट और फ़ायदा मिल सके।
लगता है यहाँ से जैसे चिनाब है या दूसरी जो नदी है, उससे नदियों के ज़रिए, नहरों के ज़रिए जो है वो कई इलाके जो हैं सिंचाई योग्य हो सकते हैं लोगों को, जहाँ कंडी है वहाँ।
ये हमने 2 साल पहले एक प्रोजेक्ट बना था, और इस वक्त भी मेरे पास एक प्रोजेक्ट आया था जो हमने चनाब से लेना था, और उस पर पाकिस्तान ने ऑब्जेक्शन किया, वो प्रोजेक्ट नहीं बन पाया। अब देख लीजिए कि पूरा जम्मू शहर जो है वो यहाँ पानी की कितनी प्रॉब्लम है। अगर हमें परमिशन मिलती है और यहाँ हमारा वो प्रोजेक्ट कामयाब हो जाता है, इसी तरीके से कश्मीर में हमारे प्रोजेक्ट्स जो हमारा वुलर लेक, आस्कर लेक और दूसरे हमारे, इस पर हम काम करना चाहते थे, उसको एक्सटेंड करना चाहते थे, जिससे एक तो ये रहता है कि जो हमारे लेक्स की अगर एक्सटेंशन होगी, बहुत सा एरिया उसमें आएगा, और उसकी जो प्रोडक्शन अपनी जो रहेगी, जो फिश है, जो हमारा सैंड है, हमारा दूसरा है उससे, और दूसरा वाटर रिचार्ज कितना होना है पूरे कश्मीर में। इसी तरीके से जम्मू का जो हमारा कंडी एरिया है, इससे हमें कितना लाभ मिल सकता है, फ़ायदा मिल सकता है। तो मैं कहूँगा कि
अब उम्मीद है
पूरा जम्मू कश्मीर जो है वो सफ़रर है। जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को इसका बड़ा नुकसान हुआ है, और मैं डिमांड करूँगा कि हमें आज तक जो नुकसान हुआ है जम्मू कश्मीर को, वो विद इंटरेस्ट हमारी भरपाई होनी चाहिए।
शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए जावेद राणा साहब, जिन्होंने कहा कि जो इलाके जम्मू के हैं, कश्मीर के हैं, इनको लेकर तमाम प्रोजेक्ट जो है वो कई बार बनाए गए, मगर पाकिस्तान इस पर ऑब्जेक्शन करता रहा। अब जब ये चीज़ें हो गई हैं तो उम्मीद कर रहे हैं कि जो पहले नुकसान हो चुका है उसकी भी भरपाई हो, और ये इनका डिपार्टमेंट जो है वो बेहतरी के लिए, लोगों की बेहतरी के लिए काम कर पाएगा। मंडी डिग्रा के साथ अजय जंडियाल, इंडिया न्यूज़, जम्मू।